Good morning and welcome everyone to Unity Spiritual Center of Wilmington. I'm Reverend Ellen Contente, and it is Sunday, July 13th. See, I said that because I always get our anniversary confused with my birthday, and it is my husband's and I 28th wedding anniversary today. And I'm so grateful that I get to celebrate it here with all of you. So I invite you, if you would like to stand and join our celebration singers for our opening song.
We come together to behold the power of love, the power of light. We come together to behold. We are divine. Lift up our hands, oh, lift up our hearts. Lift up our vision, lift it to the stars. Dance in the glory, whirl in the grace. See God in every face. See God in every face. We come together to behold the power of love, the power of light. We come together to behold. We are divine. Lift up our hands, oh, lift up our hearts. Lift up our vision, lift it to the stars. Dance in the glory, whirl in the grace. See God in every face. See God in every face. Lift up our hands, oh, lift up our hearts. Lift up our vision, lift it to the stars. Dance in the glory, whirl in the grace. See God in every face. See God in every face. See God in every face.
Good morning, everybody. I greet you in the room and those of you online. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you, Celebration Singers, for getting us going this morning. My name is Shirley Melito. I'll be your platform host for today. Is there anyone here for the first time today? Oh, welcome. We're so glad you're here. If you've not received one already, we have welcome packets in the back. Did you get one already? Great. And this card is just for contact information if you'd like somebody to reach out to you. Fill it out and put it in the basket as it comes around later today, please. Thank you for being here today. All right, so we still are using our cones as a symbol of places to park for people who have a little bit more trouble getting into the church in the morning. So if you are not one of those people, we appreciate you parking in a different place so that those... Thank you, Christine. I know you appreciate having those close spaces. Yes, thank you all for helping them to be able to get into church a little easier. All right, let's dive into the service now. Please join me in stating our mission statement. Unity Spiritual Center of Wilmington is a vibrant, inclusive spiritual community dedicated to expanding consciousness, inspiring personal transformation, and nurturing love and connection. And our vision is united in love. The world celebrates joy, abundance, and harmony. And please join me in stating our statement of truth. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotence. And from that belief, our 3 I am affirmations flow. Please say them with me. I am a beloved expression of God. I am here for holy purpose. I am in the right place at the right time, right now. And now I'll read the daily word. The daily word for Sunday, July 13th, 2025 is courage. Please read the affirmation with me. God within me is the source of my courage. Worrisome and challenging events may leave me thinking I don't have the courage to face them. What I'm going through may feel like too much to bear. Then I remind myself that as the divine being, I have all the courage I ever need. How I view myself has a strong bearing on how I handle moments of stress. If I tell myself I'm weak or unable to cope, that will probably be my experience. But if I affirm that God within is my power to rise above any worldly situation, I will feel courageous, powered, and strong. Stressful moments may leave me feeling alone and afraid. With the presence and power of God within me, I realize I am never alone and need not fear. This is the source of my courage. Sorry, that just hit. And the Bible verse today is from the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 9. I hereby command you, be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And now I'd like to invite Reverend Ellen up to the platform.
Shirley. Yeah, let's give Shirley some appreciation. As I've said before, she's one of our super volunteers. You will find her in many different roles here. And yeah, I mean, what a perfect word for today, courage. I mean, we are all called upon today, more than ever, to stand in our courage and not our fear. There is so much that's going on in the world that we need to be courageous about, that we need to know the truth about, that we need to provide support and forgiveness and stand in the truth of our beings and be able to see God in every face. That's what I love about that song, is that we need to be able to look at every single person, no matter where they are, no matter what their beliefs are, and say, you are an expression of God. And I have the courage to stand in that truth, no matter what I might see out there. And so for our meditation today, I want to take a moment of silence before I go into my meditation. And we can just hold in our hearts, hold in our prayers, those that have lost lives in Texas, that are going through things in New Mexico, in the Ukraine, in Gaza, in anywhere in the world where people are dealing with adversity and circumstances that are very difficult. So I invite you to close your eyes for just a moment. Take a deep breath. And just place love in your heart. And just send out love to those that have lost something, their home, their loved ones, their hope. Send out forgiveness to Mother Nature for doing what she does. And feel the courage to be a human in divine form in our world today. Breathing in, breathing out, expanding that love out beyond, further and further. And as we breathe in courage, we release fear. And as we breathe in love, We release hate. And as we breathe in forgiveness, we release resentment. And holding this space of love and compassion and empathy, we find a space within where we can tap into joy. Joy is still there. Breathing in and release. And now bringing this courage to yourself. Where do I need to be courageous? Where do I need to let go of fear or anger or frustration or pain? Affirming, I am always courageous. It is who I am. It is my superpower. Breathing in and release. Affirming, I have the courage to stand up to anything that does not serve me or my fellow human. And let's just hold in the silence for a moment. Let's take one more nice, long, slow, deep breath in, breathing in all the love, all the peace, all the prosperity, all the joy that we can. And slowly exhale any residuals that may block that. And very gently bring your awareness back. Wiggling your fingers, your toes. And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes. All right. You can let out a sigh. There we go. So I forgot to welcome our online folks. Welcome everyone who's watching live, or if you happen to be catching the recording at any time in the future, thank you for joining us today. And so joining us today is our very special music director, Katie Dees, as our special singer. And I love this song, Be Where Your Feet Are. It's like, because where else can we be? Let's give her a round of appreciation.
Feels like I'm surfing on a sound wave, zooming through the universe. Feels like we're bouncing off of light waves. I bounce so hard sometimes it hurts, but every time I think I'm stuck, the sun moves along and my shadow gets up. If you're lost, relax and be where your feet are. Every time I try to follow someone's way, my end result is not the same. Then I do that thing I do that's just for me, and amazing things start happening, and again and again, and every time I think I'm stuck, the sun moves along and my shadow gets up. If you're lost, relax and be where your feet are. Outer space is where I'm spacing out, still looking up when I'm feeling down. I try to walk that talk I talk, but the tale is taller when I look up. It's still too easy to feel small. Still I found, if you're lost, just relax and be where your feet are. If you've ever been lost, relax and be where your feet are. If you ever get lost, relax and be where your feet are. If you ever get lost, relax and be where your feet are.
What? Another round of applause. You know, I was surprised when she sent me that song that I wasn't familiar with it. That's such a fun song. You weren't familiar with it either. It's so perfect. Because that's so true. Wherever you are, if you ever get lost, be where your feet are. And you know, the other expression is bloom where you grow, right? Or plant yourself where you are and then just bloom. So, and that's what we've been doing here in Wilmington, haven't we? Unity Spiritual Center. We are literally blooming where we grow. Look around the room. We got a lot of people here today. Give yourselves, Dr. Herr would say, give yourselves a round of applause. So it is summer. Anybody not realize it's summertime? It is so hot. It is so hot out there. But you know, summer is that time of year that really does invite us to kind of slow down, be where our feet are. Yesterday, my feet were in the pool. But the day before that, they were at the beach in the sand. And I really look forward to this time of the year because I love the beach. It's one of the reasons we moved to Wilmington, was I wanted to be closer to the beach. I've always lived on the coast. I grew up in Long Island, like 15 minutes from the beach, and then moved to California. You would think I'd be only 15 minutes from the beach, but with traffic, it was like 90 minutes to the beach. But I love the beach, I love the pool, I love the water. I love cooling off any way that I can. And so, even during the summer, during times of frolic and fun, we can still live very spiritual lives. And so today my talk is all about God's beach bag. We have our little beach bag here filled with godly, spiritual things that I'm going to talk about. So you might be thinking, like, what could possibly be in a beach bag that is spiritual? Like, what is spiritual about the things that we take to the beach? Well, actually, everything is spiritual. As my husband would say, it's all God. Even the poop, it's all God. I mean, it's true. It's all that energy. We are all made out of the same stuff. So anything in my beach bag is spiritual. So when I go to the beach, when I spend the day at the pool, I'm recognizing I am just being a divine expression of God in every moment. And so are all the screaming children and all the people playing loud music. We're all divine expressions of God. So every single item has a quality that points us back to who we are and our principles. So before I get into it, let's look at our first affirmation today, which is, and I'm going to do a little Herbert thing, I swag with God's beach bag. Peace in my step, no need to drag. Let's say that together. I swag with God's beach bag. Peace in my step, no need to drag. So there you go. Woohoo! So what is the first thing that we typically have when we go to the beach? So let's see what we have in here. It's in here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Sunscreen. We have our sunscreen. So divine protection doesn't always mean escape from the storm. It means peace within it. Because think about it. Sunscreen doesn't block out the sun. The sun is still there. It is still there. But what does sunscreen do for us? It reminds us that, we can still stand in the storm. We can still stand in the sun and still be safe. We can be protected. When we stand in our truth, when we stand in our principles and our power, we have a protective shield. That's what spiritual sunscreen gives us, is that protective shield that no matter what is going on out there, no matter how bright and blinded we might feel, we can stand protected. So I don't know about you, but I slather up all the sunscreen. I've got the one for my face, I've got the one for my body, and there's always a spot that I tend to miss. Does anybody come home and like, ooh, I missed that spot, I missed that spot? There's always the part on the top of your feet. Oh, missed that spot. But I have courage to stand in any storm and know that I'm protected. No matter what, even if I got a little bit of a sunburn, I know with faith and I know with practicing my principles, prayer, knowing the truth of who I am, and how amazingly amazing our bodies are. It's just incredible. Have you ever watched a cut like heal itself? And then sometimes I ask myself, how does that happen? That's incredible. I don't have to do anything. The skin comes together, it just heals. So as I watch my skin heal itself, like it's peeling and it's healing. It's peeling and it's healing. There's another affirmation. Let's say that one together. It's peeling and it's healing. So anytime we get burned by something or someone, something someone may have said, something we may have read, I feel like Dr. Seuss today. Keep reminding. We can heal from it. But it's a choice. We have to decide, I am not going to allow this to burn me. I can rise above it. Or I can put on my sunscreen. So maybe instead of 15, or actually I grew up with baby oil. I'm embarrassed to admit this, but that's what we did. We slathered ourselves with baby oil. But now it's SPF 70. That's what it says, 70. So we can definitely protect ourselves. So we have to have the courage, and we have to, have the wherewithal to go into any storm that might be blinding and recognize, put on your protective shield. All right, let's look at the second one, somewhere in here, in my little beach bag. Let's see what this one is. Sunglasses! So, similar to, let me put that down there. So similar to our sunscreen, or sunglasses, oh, I can't see in here. That's the whole point, though. Right? That's the whole point. It reminds us that we don't have to be blinded by the things that are going on out there. We don't have to be blinded by things that are not true. Even though there's, it's bright, don't be blinded by lies, by falsehoods, by the things that seem true out there. It seemed like it was a really cool morning. I looked out my window, and it looked cool and refreshing. And then I stepped outside. It's like, oh, it's hot and humid. So we have to focus. We have to focus. How many of you have been to the eye doctor? And you sit behind those machines, right? And they're turning all the dials, and they try to tell you, is it this one or this one? This one or this one? Clearer or clearer? And that's what sunglasses help us do, is it helps us focus better. Because now we're not blinded by the bright rays of the sun. So we also have to focus in any given situation and not be blinded by what's not real, what's not true. Just because someone says it and says it many times, or maybe says it on television and says it in social media, doesn't make it true. Right? The only truth is what you know for you. Now, there are absolute truths in the world, yep. Gravity. Talked about gravity. It doesn't matter how many times I want to stand on the top of a cliff and say, I'm just going to fly off of this thing. No, you're going to fall. So we have to focus on the truth in any given situation and not be overwhelmed and blinded by that light. Okay? Not blinded by the light. So we need to see beyond it to see the absolute truth. The absolute truth. And it is hot out there. So when you go out there, wear your sunglasses, put on your sunscreen, and wear a summer dress, okay? Or shorts. Not long sleeve shirts, apparently. All right, let's look at the next thing. It's not necessarily in the beach bag, but it's what we go to the beach for, the waves. So you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. Any surfers out here? Now, if you are a surfer, you are at the beach right now, I'm sure, surfing. All those empty seats, those are our surfers. Those are our surfers. So here's the truth. We may not have the waves in the beach bag, but we get up every day to go to life. Right? We wake up every day to go to life. Those are our waves. We don't know what waves are coming. Just like at the beach, when you're standing on the shore, you can see them out there, right? You see them start to crest. Some of them don't even make it to shore. You're like, come on, come on, come on. And then they fizzle and die before they get there. And then the ones that you're like, okay, I'm ready for them, crash. And the next thing you know, you're tumbling all over the sand, right? I see Fran nodding her head, yep. Right? Growing up on Long Island, we went to the beach all summer long. And I remember being crashed by the waves multiple times. So just like the waves represent life's ups and downs, seasons of life. Some are good, some are not so good. Right? We can't stop the waves, but we can learn to roll with them. And so what are the principles and the practices that we need to have to be able to roll with the waves of our lives? Well, the first one is recognizing that you are a divine expression of God. So God can do anything. God is the wave. God is the ocean. You are the wave. You are the ocean. It is all one and the same. So that means I can always roll with the waves of my life. So sometimes they're going to crash on shore, and sometimes they're just going to roll very gently. And just like, there's waves of things that happen. We have waves of emotion that roll over us. I don't know about you, but the last few weeks have been just a roller coaster of waves and waves of emotion. And, in our lives, we have waves of people that come in and go out. Just like here at Unity, we've had, over the years, waves of different congregations and ministers, and then they go out. And then the new ministers come in, and some new people come in, and some old people come back. It's just, that's life. That's life. We can't get stuck in, oh man, I missed that wave. Because why? Another one is coming. Another one is coming. So riding the waves of our lives means us calling on those 12 powers that we have. Courage and strength and understanding and wisdom and joy and zeal and all the rest of them, which are not coming to my head in this very moment, but they're in there. They're in there, all 12 powers and probably then some, and then some. So when we say that we are the wave and we are the ocean, it's saying we are a human within the divine, and I am a divine within this human expression of Ellen right now. And we may not be able to stop the waves, but if we can learn to surf by using our principles, it doesn't matter if I have a surfboard or a boogie board or no board. I can just ride those waves in my life. So I've got a different affirmation for here, and this one is, I am the ocean and the wave, God in me, never afraid. So let's say that together. I am the ocean and the wave, God in me, never afraid. All right, so a few more things at the beach. Next one is seashells. How many of you have some probably bowls and bowls of shells at home? Yeah. Every time I go to the beach, I always come home with more shells, more rocks. This may go tumbling, yes. So I'm going to take this out, our little beach pal. So, shells. This one was actually in my backyard. The people that owned my house before me had a whole shell garden. And it's like, this is one of those quintessential perfect shells, right? You put up to your ear. Everybody pretend you have a shell in your ear. It's so fascinating, isn't it? And you really can hear. That's that still small voice of wisdom. But we have to be willing, again, to slow down and hear it. And that's one of the things I love about going to the beach, with our little beach pail, right, that we can fill up with sand, and we make sand castles, and then the waves come in and crash them all down, and then we get to make another one. So it forces us to slow down. I think when we're walking along the beach and we're looking for those shells, we're taking the time, we're practicing the presence. We are just being in gratitude for what is. And today, again, more than ever, we can get so caught up in all the things that are going on and feel helpless and feel overwhelming. But if we reconnect with who we truly are, we take the time to slow down and experience joy, then we can spread more of that. We can't pour if we're empty. You've got to pour from an overflowing cup. So take the time to enjoy your life and have some joy. And recognize that, the sands of time, as they say, they're ever shifting. So if it's troubling and difficult today, tomorrow is going to be different. Just like those waves, they're going to come and they're going to go. They're going to come and they're going to go. But we have to take the time to really listen. So that's what meditation is for, to slow down and listen to that small voice and practice our principles, right? We are divine expressions of God, and we are good. And at any given moment, we can change our experience by changing our thoughts. Move into prayer and remember to practice these principles. See, I got all 5 in, just in that little statement. So I think this is my last one I want to talk about. Maybe not. We'll see. So, flip-flops. So these are fun, right? How many of you have flip-flops? How many of you are wearing your flip-flops right now? Probably a number of you. Yeah, there we go. I have a few different pairs of flip-flops. So walk lightly, live brightly, and let the joy of the path beneath your feet. See, growing up, actually, I didn't wear flip-flops because these little things bothered my feet. Anybody had that issue? I somehow just released it. I just finally released it, and they didn't bother my feet anymore. But what I love about flip-flops, besides the flip-flop, flip-flop, they flip-flop, that's why they're called flip-flops. Anybody realize that? Because they make that sound, flip-flop. But what it reminds us, too, spiritually, is that, you know what, we can flip. We can change our perspective. We can change our ideas. We can change our lives by changing our thoughts. If I don't like what's going on in my life right now, flip. Literally flip. Think something else. Do something else. Move somewhere else. Do something different. And if we flop, get up. If you flop, forgive yourself. Actually, if you flop, celebrate that, because that meant you had the courage to do something different, even if you flop, fall, right on your face. Just move into prayer. That's principle number 4. So we can flip-flop through life. And who says we have to only wear our flip-flops in the summer? When I moved to Florida, people wore flip-flops everywhere. In California, the same thing. I grew up in New York where you only wore flip-flops in the summer. And yeah, in Boston too. If you were lucky, maybe 2 months out of the year when I lived in Boston. But who says you can't wear flip-flops any time of the year? It's a metaphor for living your life lightly and brightly and joyfully. And I'm always been a firm believer that shoes make the person. So if you want to change your mood, change what you put on your feet. Like, I'm not wearing flip-flops, but I'm wearing joyfully fun summer shoes. And I feel that way. So we can flip, we can flop, and we can enjoy our lives. So whether it's in the beach bag, it's at the beach, we always have God's beach bag with us at all times. So our lesson today is you've got to learn how to surf the waves of your life. Oh, I went too fast. Thank you. It's good to have somebody in the back going, directing you. So, as I said, surf the waves of your life. Surf them. Learn how to navigate. And remember that divine guidance is always in you. It is you. We just have to remember that and be quiet enough to listen. So we can say, what am I called to do in this moment? Where am I called to go? Who am I called to serve? What is it that I want to do with my life? When we don't have the answers, have the courage to ask the questions. That's a big part of it too. Don't be afraid to ask the question. Now, so often we're so afraid because what if that means I have to completely change my life? What if I don't like the answer that I hear? What if you move to a new place like Wilmington and you find the most amazing community in life you never imagined you'd ever have? And that's what we have here since we moved. So what is in God's beach bag? It's not just tools, it's truth. It is truth. Not just objects, but it's invitations, as I've been sharing. So it's an invitation to see clearly, to walk lightly, to listen deeply, and to always ride the waves of your life. So let's catch a wave like we're living on top of the world. I had to throw that one in. So let's finish with our affirmation. You ready? I swag with God's beach bag, peace in my step, no need to drag. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. Okay. So it is that time for our spiritual giving, divine giving, and we provide many ways to give, as many of you know, because you've been coming here for a long time. And if you're watching online, you can also donate through the link on our website. For those of you that do give online, we have a green card that either you got at the welcome when you came in, or you're welcome to grab one now. It's a way to energetically put something into the basket to show your support. So with that, let's go ahead and do our mudra. Are we with me? There we go. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is.
I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. Be a blessing to the world.
I know that these blessings go forth to heal, prosper, and bless. And it is just God in action. And with gratitude and thanksgiving, I release my word knowing it's done, and together we all say, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. All right, so I believe it is time for Miss Katie to sing us another song. And I'm going to gather up all my stuff back into my beach bag.
My friend, the communist, holds meetings in his RV. I can't afford his gas, so I'm stuck here watching TV. I don't have digital, I don't have diddly squat. It's not having what you want, it's wanting what you've got. I'm gonna soak up the sun, gonna tell everyone to lighten up. I'm gonna tell them that I've got no one to blame. For every time I feel lame, I'm looking up. I'm gonna soak up the sun, I'm gonna soak up the sun. I've got a crummy job, it don't pay near enough to buy the things it take to win me some of your love. Every time I turn around, I'm looking up, you're looking down. Maybe something's wrong with you that makes you act the way you do. I'm gonna soak up the sun, gonna tell everyone to lighten up. Gonna tell them that I've got no one to blame. For every time I feel lame, I'm looking up. I'm gonna soak up the sun while it's still free. I'm gonna soak up the sun before it goes out on me. Don't have no master suite, but I'm still the king of me. You have a fancy ride, but baby, I'm the one who has the key. Every time I turn around, I'm looking up, you're looking down. Maybe something's wrong with you that makes you act the way you do. Maybe I am crazy too. I'm gonna soak up the sun, gonna tell everyone to lighten up. Gonna tell them that I've got no one to blame. to soak up the sun. I got my 45 on so I can rock on.
Oh, so nice to hear Katie sing, just the joy that you're bringing forth from that. And I've always admired how people can play the piano and sing, one hand doing one thing, one hand doing the other thing, and then singing and keeping it all straight. I don't know. But thank you so much, Katie. All right, time for announcements. Before I start the announcements, though, I forgot to mention that I am also the prayer partner today. So if you would like to meet me after the service for prayer, we can meet outside the prayer room. And even if you don't want to tell me what's on your heart, if we just want to sit in silence, that's an option too, because sometimes you just don't want to talk about it anymore, but I want to offer support if you'd like to do that. Also, we've got prayer forms by the prayer box. If you'd like to write your request on there, the prayer team will pray over those for 30 days, then send it on to Silent Unity where they'll be prayed over for another 30 days. So consider that for your concerns. Also your joys, we like to hear those too. So coming up this week, we are having every week actually is the book group, the WOW book group, 10 o'clock in the library. There'll be a new book starting on the 25th called Letting Go, The Path of Surrender by David R. Hawkins. And see, Cliff, if you have any questions about that book, how to get it, or what it's about. Unity Luncheon is Tuesday the 15th, 12 o'clock at the Amanecer Cocina and Cafe, 1616 Shipyard Boulevard. There's a sign-up sheet next door, so we know how many are coming to know how much space to reserve. So sign up if you're interested in that. It's a great way to connect with people during the week. The film festival continues on the 18th at 7 o'clock, A Knight's Tale. The description here says, a spirited tale of rising above limitations. A Knight's Tale reflects on unity principles of divine potential, the power of thought, and living from truth. Join us for inspiration, laughter, and a fresh take on spiritual courage. And it's free. And there's some postcards in the back with actually not only that schedule, but some of the other ones. So take some with you, hand them out to friends, drop them in places where people look for stuff, and share that word. Let's get people to come in and enjoy the fellowship. There will be no energy share for July or August. Our Reiki master, Cecilia, is taking a break, but we will resume in the fall. So there are more events happening. There is one that's not up there that I do want to mention coming up at the end of the month. The prayer team is offering a silent meditation that is July 23rd, which is a Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock here in the sanctuary. Reconnect with our inner sanctuary. Just silent meditation, just be with the presence in a group of like-minded people. So join us for that. You'll be hearing more about that as the weeks go on. There are more events. Where are they? They're on our website. They are in the community room, also our Facebook page. So check it out if you'd like more options for fellowship. This week we are honoring, did I miss something? I talked to, the community outreach. And I talked to Jose about it. I am so sorry. The community outreach, July and August, Operation Pretty Things. It supports the people who are in domestic violence shelter just to help them feel a little bit more loved and taken care of. There's a list of things on Amazon. I guess if you type in a wish list for domestic violence, you'll find that. There should be also some information out in the lobby to support that. Okay. Honoring our teams this week, the grounds and building team, and the garden team, if you are on those teams, please stand up and be recognized. Yes, well, I'm embarrassed to say I'm on the garden team. Don't look that I haven't been out there for a while. But we need extra people. If you want to just come and pull weeds for like 10 minutes once a week. I really need help with that. With this climate, when it rains, everything says whoosh, weeds included. So, and thank you, Myron. I know Myron wears lots of hats too, and he's on the building team and the garden team. And you just call Myron, and he says, "Yep, I'm coming. I'll be there." So thank you for that. And we are still sharing how we're thriving at 25. So add your notes. I didn't pull up any today. I know there's some new ones out there. We want to see yours too. So put those on the board and just be inspired by other people who are also thriving. And now I would like to invite Reverend Owen back up to the platform.
Yeah, we have so much going on, so definitely check the website for more events, and definitely come out next Friday for A Knight's Tale, one of my absolute favorite movies. If you haven't seen it, you're in for a treat, and if you have, it's probably been a number of years. And if you don't come for the movie, I make the popcorn myself, so come for the popcorn. But yes, please go ahead and grab some little flyers that we put together, drop them off at places, and let people know. And same thing with the community outreach. The women's group went to the Harrelson Center 2 Mondays ago, and we got to tour all the different groups that are there. And I believe Ann picked Pretty Little Things because we got introduced to that group. And so every 2 months, we collect for another organization. So in this one in particular, I believe that they really want quality items. So ladies, I know we've got some old used mascaras in our bags. That's not what they're looking for, obviously. So you can scan the QR code, and there's a list of specific things that they're looking for. So any way that we can support our community, including ourselves, there's been a sign-up sheet as well in the community room. If anyone in our community needs support, needs a ride, needs love, needs help with something, you can fill it out on the form. And if you are a person who, doesn't matter what somebody needs, just call me, put your name there, as well as, hey, I'd be happy to drive you to the doctor. So you put your name for that too. So we want to support our community, and our Wilmington community. So with that, let us celebrate all the folks that made today's service happen. Let's give everyone some appreciation. And I know the celebration singer names aren't listed there, but let's give them some special appreciation. And finally, it is that time where we do need to bring this to closure so that everybody can go into the community room and share some coffee and some treats. So I invite you to stand for our prayer for protection and our peace song. And you are welcome, if you would prefer, you can sit as well. It's not mandatory to stand. All right, so together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God folds us. I am the love of God. The power of God watches us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
With God as
Let's remember to flip-flop lightly through our lives, knowing we are always divinely protected with our glasses and our sunscreen, and remembering who we are. Namaste. Have a beautiful week, everyone.
Very good.
Thank you.